So my name is Matt Lugo. I'm one of the technology education teachers here at the Somers Middle School. Welcome, come on in. We have another tech teacher, his name is Rich DeVito. He'll be down in a little bit, he's just getting our classes started. So what I want to do right now is kind of take you through our journey of creating this space, because it didn't always look like this, and then kind of share with you the message that we're giving to the teachers in the school building, the staff, and how we're kind of using the room and some of our successes and things we got to work on. And if you have any ideas, please share. We're the kind of people that we want to hear ideas, because some of them are awesome. We can try them out. And we're also the type of people that if we see a cool idea, we want to actually do it for ourselves, you know, and I think that's part of being a maker, so that's what this room is all about. So one of the first things when we started this room, our vision was we wanted to be the center of innovation and creativity for the whole school. So if some teacher is doing an awesome or has an awesome idea about an amazing project that's a hands-on style project, we want them to think of this place first, and we'll talk later, but they have the ability to sign this room out like a computer lab. So they can sign it out for 3 days in a row, or 2 days, or 1 day, or whatever they want. And they will meet with me or Rich beforehand, and we'll kind of coach them through their lesson, make sure they're all set. We're approaching it kind of like a business, so we want our customers to be happy when they use it for the first time. So meeting with them beforehand has made a really big difference in that. We have all happy teachers so far. So, and that's Rich, by the way, Rich DeVito. He's the other tech teacher here. Yeah, we worked on this together, and we had some support from the librarian and some of the people from the computer tech department too when we started originally planning it, and of course our principal. So we want it to be the center of innovation and creativity for the school. We want kids to have a place that if they think of an idea that they're passionate about, something they're really into, that they can come here and actually create it. A lot of kids don't have access to something like that at home. They might not have someone at home that could help them with a project like that. So we want to be that place for them so that they can really go for it when they have that really cool idea. So when we actually get kids in here and when they're in our tech classes, this is the main focus, the engineering design process cycle. And we tell the kids that they can use this for anything simple or advanced. It could be just getting dressed in the morning, like define the problem. You have to wear appropriate clothes to get to school, right? Requirements that you can't wear shorts in the wintertime, things like that. So we take them through that, and they actually start doing it for different projects when they're in here and in our tech labs. So when we actually started, this room did not look like this. It looked more like this picture. I don't know if you can see that right there. This was an old Mac lab. There was about 20, 30 computers in here. It had been used for many years, and it was kind of dirty and dark. And what our original mission to do is to brighten it up and get kids excited. So we had a club that we started called Maker Club on Thursdays. It's one of 5 STEM-based clubs that we run here. And we had the students actually come in, take measurements of the room, and we went on Google SketchUp and we made that drawing with them. So we thought of our dream scenario, things that we'd want, like a Little Bits Pro library, a laser cutter, and some of these things we don't have right now, but we are in the process of writing grants and saving up for and different things like that. So you can see up here some of the kids painting. So they built this center table, they built with us the storage up there, they built that whole table over there. And then some things that we just needed, we just got creative with, like the wood storage rack over there and where the recyclables are. Those were just old tables that were just in storage or going to be thrown out, and we figured if we took the wood top off of it, they actually stack right on top of each other and make a beautiful storage rack. So we just kind of went DIY and made as many things as we could with as little money possible. So when teachers actually come in this room, the message we send to them is this is your room. It's just because we worked on it with the kids, Rich and I. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to want to use it and to get creative themselves. So we send the message, this is your facility. You can use it. This is for the whole school, not just for the technology education program. So we were thinking, why create a makerspace? Kind of what I mentioned before. We want kids to have that opportunity to build things that they get excited about. And also we want to inspire more kids to become engineers. We have a really amazing engineering program at Somers High School through Project Lead the Way where kids can get college credit from RIT. So we, through our efforts here, have seen the numbers rise in that program at the high school. They have completely booked classes, the 2 tech teachers there. And we're also seeing a growing number of female students joining and taking those classes. What we've found for inspiring female students is they really care about helping people and making a difference for people. So one of the projects we started was a 3D hand printing project right over here, where the kids actually start out designing a prosthetic hand. Here's a cardboard version that they would start with so they can figure out how it works and see, you know, what would fit. And it's cool because if they make a mistake, no big deal. It's just cardboard and string and some hot glue and some straws. There's a YouTube video we found which guides the kids through it so they can work on it. Each kid in Somers Middle School has a tablet, so they can kind of go through that video, set themselves up. And then the next level, which we're hoping to do more of these, is this 3D printed prosthetic hand. This is from handchallenge.com, I believe it is. And they give you the files you need. They give you YouTube videos for how to put it together. And what's amazing is after you build one, you can send it to them. They'll double check, make sure everything's functioning properly, and they will actually deliver this to a child in need. So a kid who's missing a finger or two or has an issue like that, they actually can wear this and it would help them out. There's videos on the internet, I'm sure some of you guys have seen them, kids riding bikes, throwing balls, like just being super pumped up and happy that they have one of these. So we're trying to make a difference, and we find that female students really like helping with stuff like this. Another initiative we did was we built hat looms. If you look over there, you can see the green and yellow hat. We used our CNC router, which we'll show you a little later today. It's in our tech lab. To cut all the parts for it. So we made about 20 or 30 hat looms, and then we told the kids the first hat they make we donate to someone in need in the winter, and then the second hat's theirs. So that was a really cool project that we had a lot of interest in as well. So there's also a lot of job opportunities in the STEM field, so that's another reason why we're promoting all this stuff. So our vision is it's a sandbox where students learn through hands-on tinkering, designing, and if you look through the MakerSpace philosophy, that's what we're trying to do here. So where are we now? We started with that room that nothing in it. We had the kids paint everything and build stuff. One of the other initiatives, we wanted to kind of feel like a hands-on like science museum. I always have fun when I would go to one of those. So we started building different things that kind of make the room feel like that. So we applied for a grant over here. We have some pulleys set up. So the kids in 6th grade learn about simple machines. So we have about 50 pounds in there. And they're amazed when they start lifting it with the pulleys how much easier it is to pull up. We have my old bike from when I was in middle school over there. We found an old treadmill. If you take the motor off a treadmill, it's actually a generator, and Rich hooked it up to those lights. So if you pedal it, it'll show you the difference between a regular bulb, a fluorescent, and an LED. So they pedal for power. That's a lot of fun. There's always kids asking, and it's a good workout as well. Always looking to jump on that. We built an earthquake shake table over there, which they're going to be using for 6th grade science. And they build structures out of straws, and then they compete and see which one would last the longest in an earthquake. They're also learning about all the science behind it in their science curriculum, so it's a really cool activity to have at the end of a unit. So we did that. We have a solar cooker. We have a couple kids working on solar cookers, so we have one of those over there. So any cool idea that we think of, we like to try it out and see if we can actually make it. Right over here is a wind tube. This is amazing for testing parachutes out. So we had kids doing egg drops in 6th grade, and they were testing their parachutes in that before they actually threw their egg out the window to see if it would last or not. So that's been awesome. We also use that for our STEM club, and we have run a club with 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders from the school next door, and we walk them up over every Tuesday. So that was a project that they did. They had to hold a Lego person in there at a certain height and then get them to shoot out. So just a lot of fun to do that type of project. So that was one of our initiatives, to get a hands-on feel. The other initiative was to get teachers comfortable using the space. So like I mentioned before, we ran those PD sessions for teachers. On our staff development day, we actually took them through a STEM lesson and had them design earthquake-proof structures, and the teachers loved it. We actually had, after that, 3 teachers want to use it for other things for their classes. So right now we have science teachers using it for magnetism. If you've ever seen Kane's Arcade, the cardboard arcade games, similar project to that, except the kids have to, one of their design requirements is incorporate magnetism into it, because that's what we're learning about in 6th grade science. So they've built a bunch of games, they're all around the room, you can check them out later, that incorporate magnetism. They're using it for, they're going to do the shake table, they did the egg drop project, and eventually we want to use the green screen. The reason the wall is this color is because we researched the exact color that works great for green screen. We got a grant from the PTA to get the GoPro. So we're hoping to do some like weather broadcasts and things like that, or even if you have a presentation, a kid can make a cool video for it. So anything they can pretty much dream up, we're going to support them. We built the presentation stage for that. I think it makes the kids feel special when you just step up a little bit and you're on there and you're presenting and someone's filming you. So that's been a lot of fun. As far as supplies for the room, we've been getting grants from the PTA. We had the Somers Education Foundation, SEF. They got 2 of the 3D printers for us. And then we've been just, any budget money we have left over, we try to use for smart things in this room. We got a few hand tools. We also salvaged old hand tools that other people gave us and things that we had left over, and we kind of hung it over there. And we're actually in the process of applying for another PTA grant where we would get some more hand tools. We were hoping to get a CNC router for this room because we have one in the tech lab and the kids use it. They make signs, they cut parts for projects like this. This is a passive iPhone speaker. So you take your phone, got your speaker down here, you put it in there, and it makes the sound much louder. It's kind of like when you take your phone and put it into a cup. You have some people over, it's not loud, you're outside or something. So they can put this on their nightstand at home and they can paint it, or but to cut the parts out, they can use the CNC router. So the phone drops in, they can cut these shapes, and this is basically just 3 pieces of wood, and there's all different designs that they make. Some of the kids were using like the ends of 2-liter soda bottles and cutting a small hole here, having the phone drop in this way, and the sound comes out of that soda bottle, almost like an instrument. So having a lot of fun with that. So we're hoping to get one of those. We also have been budgeting for a laser cutter that we're going to be putting right over there and exhausting out that window. The laser cutter is really cool. We can do a lot of, there's 2 little signs over there that were laser cut, and we can have the kids, you know, cut parts. The elephant right here and the cardboard, this was all cut with the laser cutter. Which has a couple signs there. It came out pretty nice. Yeah, so we can do all types of creative stuff with that. Yeah, so we have the teachers using it. They're signing up the room. During the school day, we have period 6, which is a team time and a lunch period. And kids can come from their team time, which is kind of like a study hall. And if they have a cool idea, instead of just sitting in study hall, they come down to this room and they can work on projects. They can also come during their recess time for lunch. In order to have the kids feel like a responsibility to finishing their project, what we did is we created a maker contract. So we have some over here. You guys are welcome to take one with you. But basically we're asking for some simple information. What problem will you be solving? What materials will you need? How long do you think it will take? Who's working with you? Are you working alone or in a group? And they sign it. We talk a little bit about what a contract means. You have to hold up your end of the bargain, and we hold on to it. So it's been working pretty well. Kids are following through on projects. You get a few kids that, you know, will maybe not come back for a week or 2 or something, but for the most part we have pretty good success with that. So we're hoping for this to impact the whole school eventually. We're hoping to get more teachers involved. Right now, Sixth period, like I said, the kids are coming team time and lunch. Eighth period's just a team time. So Rich is in here and kids come from team time. In the first half of the year, we had an opening fourth period, so Rich was in here and they were coming team time and lunch. But we're hoping to have someone in here throughout the day so that whatever class you're in or project you're working on, or if you have a passion for an idea, you can come down here and work on it. We had a situation where kids were working on pyramids for Egypt and social studies, and we had a bunch of kids come down. They were building pyramids and 3D printing parts for them and stuff, so that was working out pretty well. So Rich and I are kind of like maker coaches because we meet with the teachers before they actually sign the room out, which is working pretty well, but it does take a lot of time out of our schedule for our own stuff, so we're managing it, balancing it, but so far so good. The teachers are having a good time. We're hoping we have building budgets helping out. We're using, hopefully make some fundraisers with the laser cutter. We're hoping to do sell pint glasses that we engrave and sell them for different events in the school. You can get one of those for less than $1 and sell it for $5, so it's a great fundraiser. And any other cool ideas. And then we're using our recyclables. So we have a big bin next to our tech labs where people drop off paper towel tubes, cardboard, egg cartons, like anything that we could build stuff out of. And we encourage the students not to look at it like a apple juice bottle, but think about it, hey, that's clear plastic. So if I'm building a project and I need a windshield or I need something else that's clear, you know, we can cut all that stuff and turn it into something that they can actually use for their project. So here's kind of the message we're sending to the teachers: have a plan, sign the room out in advance, create real-world problem, follow the engineering process. It's okay to make messes. You're going to make messes in here. One issue we ran into was we have a rug in here, so it's really hard to clean up. So we have kids helping the vacuum and stuff, but it's constant like effort with that. Hopefully maybe in the future we could replace the rug with something that you can just sweep a little bit easier. But these are all things that we're learning about as we go and making improvements wherever we can. For example, that shelf you see up there above the design idea board was just put in last week. So we're like, hey, we need more storage. We have kids building all these cool arcade games. We need to have more space. We also learned a lot from it as far as giving the kids a requirement of size of their projects. So we're just so excited to start, and the kids, oh, I'm gonna make like a bowling game, right? It's like this long. Well, we don't have any place to keep that, so we're gonna keep them like this big, and we figure that the kids are not really gonna learn anything more about magnetism or whatever the project's about from one this big than this one. You can still make an amazing project like this. So that's kind of what we're gonna shoot for in the future and kind of learn from going. We also offer after-school clubs, which is a really great feeder program for this and for our STEM club is 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. So it's great because we have so many kids interested that we had to separate it into 3 different clubs almost. They run for 8 weeks each. There's a 3rd grade one, a 4th grade, and a 5th grade one, and we just do fun projects. We built a giant hovercraft that's powered by a leaf blower. We just are finishing up, you'll see when you come down to the tech labs, a giant Connect 4, which has been a pretty big hit. We've done the wind tube, we've done 3D printing, like anything we're willing to try out. They usually have fun. We have a tech club, which is more of like a set project. Like everybody will make a CO2 car or a catapult. Everyone's kind of working on the same project. We have a computer club where they're doing Scratch and programming, and also we have some VEX IQ robots that are really awesome. So we have the kids doing some robotics. We have our Maker Club, which is the guys who actually built this room, and they're building projects and filling contracts out all the time to continue working. And then we build the set for the school play, which just finished up this weekend. So we have a lot of the same kids coming to help with those different activities. So I usually always finish up like, why do we do this? Why are we so fired up about getting kids excited about this stuff? So we always say, you know, it could be one of our students that comes up with one of these amazing things that like changes the world. We never know who it is, right? So we want to give every kid the opportunity, if they have that passionate idea, to try it out and learn and have this facility right here to, you know, just get creative and do what they want to do. So that's our mission here. So I have some pictures below of some different things we've done just to maybe get ideas flowing. This was a cool project in the past. We had kids had to learn about the rainforest in, I think it was 5th grade for ELA. It was an ELA unit, nonfiction, and so the kids all did a research report on different animals or a plant from the rainforest, and then they actually built them, and then we got the whole class and we put together a whole giant rainforest display. We like to put people in pretend real world situations, so we actually have all of our projects on that purple post right there. Those are the ones for here. We have different ones for our technology classes. But you'll find different projects that are similar to this, and they can kind of choose through that, so they don't just come in here and necessarily start out with any project. We like to kind of push them toward one of those. It's a little easier to manage. But if a kid has an awesome idea, like I had a couple kids came in recently, and they're like, Mr. Lugo, I want to build a skate park, right? So you're like, okay, cool. You have plans, you made a drawing of it. So just because it's not one on there, right? And I might actually take this and make a design challenge like this. And they made this little hoverboard, it had wheels on it, and they were just having the best time ever. So any project that they're excited about, we can do. These were from, they have World Language Day, and the kids have to do a research project and a presentation about different languages, different countries, so those were some famous buildings and whatnot. We're using the 3D printers all the time. There's a hat loom, he was making his hat. Catapults, she was like, I want to build some shoes, Mr. Luga. So I'm like, all right, you have a drawing? She made a drawing, and she got foam, and she was wearing them around. They looked actually pretty comfortable with the foam on the bottom. So like mini basketball stuff, all types of stuff. So we actually entered a competition earlier this year for a Maslow CNC router. It's a company on Kickstarter. And the thing about a CNC router you'll see is they're very expensive. Like the one we have I think costs $4,000 we got through the SEF grant. But in order to get one that you can cut like a full sheet of plywood is tons of money. So these guys on Kickstarter came up with this idea where they can kind of hang the board sideways, so you can almost have it in your garage at home, and it's only like $500. But we entered a competition where it was votes, so we got all the kids in our school to vote. We got some help from our high school students, former students, and we were one of the schools that won one. So they're in the process of actually manufacturing them right now. And later in the school year, they're going to deliver it to us for free, awesome, and then we're going to put it together, and we're hoping to, for like the school play set, like we can cut anything out now, full sheets, giant trees, whatever, and I think it would just be a lot of fun. There's a cool website, I forget the name of it, but they actually have open source plans for furniture. So like you can cut parts for a chair with the router and it all fits together, slides together, you glue it up and you have an amazing chair. They have tables, they have all types of stuff. So this is the router we have in our classroom. And then we have a whole bunch of different 3D printers. We have some MakerBots, we have the LuzBot 3D printers here. We have a Flash Forge, a couple of Flash Forge printers. We even have a Dremel 3D printer. I think Home Depot sells those. So we have a lot of printing going on. Some other stuff there, she's making the Connect 4, which we'll show you later. This is what the room looks like when kids are working. We have hydroponics going in our classrooms. We're doing biotechnology too, where kids are actually growing their own lettuce. And then at the end of the quarter, we have the healthiest party in the school. We have a salad party. We bring some carrots in, some dressing, plates, forks, and we just have an awesome time. So there's what the lettuce looks like. We have some lettuce growing right now. It just started, so it's small right now, but it grows fast and it's a lot of fun to use. Built some giant dinosaurs with the STEM club, younger kids. So we take like the small, if you ever been to like Natural History Museum, they'll have those small 3D puzzles, and we just scaled all the parts up, cut it with the CNC router, and then put it together. That was in the library at SIS, the elementary school, for a number of years. And then we have another one which we'll hopefully walk up and show you. It's all painted up now, up by our library. Some hat looms, some signs with the router. So just a lot of cool projects to get ideas flowing. So you guys probably are wondering like what this room looks like with kids using it. This is us using the green screen. That's just me showing the green screen. So if kids, we have the Mac saved over and they're doing iMovie with it. So this is kids actually using the room, so you get a feel. So there's no chairs really. They're all focused on what they're doing, working in groups. And then when we were first trying to get kids excited, we made like a little commercial to show the kids, so they ran during their team time.
School year for students and teachers to use. The room will be available for students to use during team time periods and after school during the Maker Club. So you may be thinking, what exactly is a MakerSpace? Well, the video on the next slide should help answer some of your questions. One of the most amazing parts about this room is that it was created by SMS students. These students decided what a great makerspace would.
All right, so then we just kind of talk about like the contract and what you have to fill out and the details. So if kids want to look at this stuff, they can locate all of this on our school website. So we created a website for the makerspace. So if we go to it right now, I'll show you guys how to get there because it actually has all of our projects we do in here. So if you're interested in checking some of them out, I'll show you how to navigate to it. So if you go to Somers Middle School and you go to classroom websites right here and you scroll down the middle column, right below my name is MakerSpace. So it gives some information. You can watch that video if you wanted to, but then it gives the design challenges for each grade. So like I said, the kids all have their own tablets, so they can, like, before they even show up here, look through the projects and kind of have a good decision about something they might want to work on. We have the cardboard design challenge, roller coaster design challenge. So we use those pegboards over there with pipe insulation that you can get for like $1 a piece at Home Depot. And we're teaching the kids about potential and kinetic energy with that. So it's a great project. Rube Goldberg Design Challenge. They're actually having in White Plains High School a Rube Goldberg Engineering Challenge coming up. So we thought that was a cool idea. We have the Robotic Hand Challenge. Tundra Ferry, it's a wind-powered vehicle basically that they have to get across a certain distance. Animal habitat is kind of like the rainforest we showed you. We have the passive phone speaker design challenge. We have a green home design challenge. The hat looms, solar cookers. We also encourage them to use Design Squad challenges. There's a lot of really great ones if you go to Design Squad. Short ones, longer ones, just tons of projects that they walk you through. Another really great resource, somebody asked before, is Engineering Go For It. Tons of projects. Usually when a teacher, we meet with them and they're like, hey, I want to use the MakerSpace, but I'm not quite sure of an idea to go with. So we'll tell them to go to Engineering Go For It, and there's a whole teachers section with hundreds of lesson plans. And then this is the hat loom link. It's a YouTube video that shows the kids how to put their hat together. So I figured I'd take you through the kind of where we came from, all the stuff we're doing here. If you have any questions, you can ask. You can look around. And later on, once our classes, the rooms are free, we'll walk you into the tech rooms. You can take a look at what we're doing down there. Check out the hydroponics and the CNC router and some other stuff. All right, so thanks for coming, and awesome to have you here. We're super excited.